Guys, welcome back to my channel. So what I like to discuss today is we all have a narrator, right? And this narrator is often is in our head. Most often it's negative thoughts, emotions, feelings, right? And we identify with these thoughts, and through these thoughts and feelings, we identify, we get attached to them, then we start believing them, right? And whatever comes from inside comes out, right? And it shows in our actions, shows the people, what we're attracted in our lives. And you got to be asking why, these things are going on, right? And most often, people, they fill the void through external validation, correct? Like I've been guilty of it. I've been guilty of, social media, telling people, my achievements. That's my source of, external validation. And, that's, at least I'm aware, when I do those kind of stuff. So I'm like, okay, I need to work on that because I should be self-validating myself. I should not be attached to anyone's opinions, validation, because if I am, that means I'm a slave to them. I will always be a slave. So I want to self-validate myself. I want to be in the stage of where I don't need anyone, right? You don't need anyone, but you want to be with someone, but you don't need anyone, right? And you should be okay being by yourself. You should be okay hearing your own thoughts and, looking at yourself of who you really are, right? And most of these stuff, the reason why we seek external validations like a career, people, social media is because of shame. And that shame, where it comes from, is it's a lack of forgiveness of ourselves, right? We hold a lot of shame, we hold a lot of guilt from our past experiences, whatever happened in your past. You hold a lot of baggage and grudges and mistakes, and we beat ourselves up, right? And it's very hard to perform at a high level in your life when you have this belief system of shame and you haven't forgiven yourself yet, right? And I will offer to you and to myself is having radical self-forgiveness for yourself. Like whatever happened in the past, it was perfect, right? Everything was happened up to this point in your life has been no mistake. There's no accidents. Nothing is random, right? And you have to let go. But it's easier said than done, of course. But having radical self-forgiveness for yourself, that's a game changer. That's when, you feel that liberation in yourself and you're able to perform at a high level and you're able to focus in the moment. Because a lot of people, they don't realize, but we're holding a lot of baggage, and it's showing resistance in our lives. And you can't really enjoy life with you have all these negative self-beliefs about yourself, and you won't be able to have the life that you exactly desire, correct? So with that, most often, in our society, you see well, people portray confidence as, loud, obnoxious, someone that has like grandiosity, thinks they're important. How I see that person exactly is that's a very insecure person. When you have to display power and dominance towards someone else or just towards a group, that's weakness, honestly. That's not a portrayal of masculinity or leadership. To be a leader, to portray a healthy, masculine, confident man, you need to be comfortable with yourself. It's not about who's the loudest in the room, who preaches, who gets with who and things like that. It's being comfortable with yourself. Talking slower, right? Talking slower, not afraid of pauses. The more comfortable you are with conversations, the more confidence you feel, right? So for example, when someone asks you a question, you're not afraid to pause, think about it, then answer, right? Someone that's insecure, nervous, they're like squirrels in their mind, right? They're kind of like, oh, okay, they're fast movement, right? But someone that's confident in the room, they're not afraid to scan the room. They're confident. They don't have to tell anyone who they are. They don't have to tell anyone how good they are, or how much money they have. That's just a facade. That is just a persona that most people portray because of insecurity, because they need that validation. They need that external validation. But someone that's truly comfortable with themselves and feels safe with themselves, they don't have to preach anything to them. They just do it by action, right? They don't do it with an announcement. They don't overrule anyone forcefully. They are comfortable with who they are, and they have the attitude is like take it or leave it, right? They don't care who likes them, who don't. They just go with the flow, and because they know in the end of the day, all they have to rely on is themselves, right? As long as you don't have to rely on anyone else and be in that kind of position, that abundance mindset perspective, people feel that kind of energy. People will sense that. People will be drawn to you just naturally. So that's just what I had today in mind, but just think about that and see you until next time.